Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Friday, October 15th, and starting with a Russell on the daily chart here, and we'll go to the tick chart in a moment. So we've had a nice breakout through here, and it looks like the stochastics is also giving us that sort of signal as well, so that's handy. We still need to, with this triangle pattern here, this leg here, for instance, we've got this leg and then we've got this correction. So this leg here with a little bit of equality to it over here, we just need to be sure that we've got, that situation coming into this trend line here, as, this wave D here, for instance, might be over here for that, So I don't think it's the case, but I just want to be careful along the way. That's all. I'll be thinking of both sides of the markets with all the indices until we're clear. So we have been looking at this on the tick chart, so I will just have a quick look at that point. So we've got our triangle through here with our wave 3 over here, A, B, C, and A, B, C for D here. It gets rather small in here, but to me it kind of completed, it was as the A, B, C here for the B wave, the A, B, C for the C of the E of 4 that we called in for the low. That was the balance line here for the whole correction, that little green line through here. We talked about being long in here yesterday somewhere. I'm not sure where that exactly was, but it was just half a position anyway. So one of the other main points is it's still quite a way away, the 2,300 as a as a support in terms of the trading levels. So with this here, we'll also need to just understand this structure here a little bit. I won't go into it a lot here. I haven't really figured it all out, but well, 1 and 2 is clear, so we basically just need, let's just have a look at this a little bit anyway, 4 and 5 here, but that's only going to give us wave 3 at that point. So do I call that in here and here for that? Let me have a look at this for a second. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3. What if that's 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, it could be here. I'll do some work on it, but it doesn't matter. We're still going. We've still got further to go up here. There'll be something like this here. But what I really want here is this one here. Is this blue wave 1 and blue wave 2 here for this, which I might have to upgrade to the next level, but that doesn't really matter at that point. So we're looking for some sort of correction through here, and I'm more interested over this side, and I'm more interested in this pullback here as being corrective and also gaining support here. So the long trade, could you add here? Yeah, if a small position here, because what will happen at the end of the day here, I know, is that we've got 2, 3 here, then we've got 10, 20 and 30. That's group 1. So we're going to see a correction from the 23 area here down to here. That's going to be the swing range in here, right? So yeah, this ABC is going to happen in here somewhere. It'll be sort of supported. It'll be supported by, there'll be some price action patterns in here that will later on support it over here. That's basically what we're looking for. So I'll just move this over to here and give ourselves a little bit of space with all of this, and I don't really know how that's going to play out here, but I can assure you that a trend has got a beginning, a middle and an end, and this number 2 here coming up through here, we can see we've got 1 and 2. We can see we've got most of the third wave here. So this is either this is either, without pulling that apart, this is either here at the moment or it's going to be sitting here somewhere there, because yeah, so one in that space there, we're going to get some fours and fives in this little area before we push up here a bit higher for that. Yeah, so we're a long way from that there, because we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to go up. Do you know what I mean? So the trend is still bullish. If you do go long here, all I'm saying is that you'll end up sort of, soaking it back up over here. So it's okay if you don't have leverage contracts. If you're in EFTs or something, then with EFT, if there's no leverage, well, then you can just take the price and work things out on the price, and work out how many contracts you can get in or whatever between, every 100 points, and how you spread them around and what you do with that. So, yeah, anyway, that's all of that. Sorry to spend so much time on that, but that's that. And the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is going to be a little bit like the S&P, of course. And what I would like to do here is two things. One is look at wave 4 being in play here at the moment, like completely finished. But I also know in the back of my mind is that it hasn't pulled back to the 38.2% retracement level. That's okay, because I'm sort of left wondering, which I'd still need to go back and do, is that do we actually have this wave 4, or are we 1 degree smaller? And that's sort of what's on my mind a little bit. It won't bother us for the short time with either one of these. We still need to work out if we're going to either go up to wave 5 and make new highs, or we need to look at all of this rally here as corrective. So that means that, in a way, that little Y here, that goes over to here, the W would come into this point, and then the X would come over to here. So a larger sort of WXY, if you like. Or we could look at that also as just a regular flat correction as well at that point. But either way, we need to be mindful of this move up here. Will it terminate, and where will it terminate, and what does it look like, and how do we go about doing that? At what point are we going to be at risk? So I'm thinking, just generally speaking here, is that this move that's coming up here at the moment, it's an impulse wave. It'll have 5 waves in it. So when it finishes its 5 waves in this move here, then we'll have a top somewhere. So any move above that 5 waves, that will tell us that we're bullish at that point. But if it's going to fail, that's where it's going to fail from, this point. Now, we can look at the 50, 61.8%, and also the 78.6 way back up here as well. So all of these areas, are valid. So I wouldn't pin too much onto them. We'll just track the wave count. So we could look at it as an A, B, and C wave to this point, and then move down at that point, or we'll see this little move down through here as corrective, and then we'll push up from that point. So let's just go in and take a closer look at this. So we've got it here as wave 3, WXY finished here. That all works quite well. And we can look at this to the upside as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and going up for wave 3 there. This wave 3 could also be a wave 1 as well, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. I mean, a wave 1 of a smaller degree here, but it doesn't matter at this point, because in both cases we'll be looking for 5 waves up here. So once we get to those 5 waves, as I've just mentioned, we'll have some sort of top in play, and then anything past that we can look at being, confirming to be bullish at that point. Also too, once these 5 waves here finish, we'll have an A and a B and a C wave here, or we'll have 1 and 2 and 3. So after the third wave down, like 1, 2, 3, after 3 legs, then we'll know that anything below that will be bearish. and then we can also look to go long at this point above here as well. We may be able to see something else. So yeah, in a nutshell, we'll get to this third wave here, and then anything above that, we'll know that we're bullish at that point. Let's go in and have a closer look. So just assuming, and it's a bigger assume here too, calling this wave forward here, because I don't really, as I've always said, I don't really have 5 waves in this move here. So having this as an A, B, C or WXY is fine as well here. So it will all come down to the end of this 5-wave structure here. So in a way, as you can see that, you know, we've had this building wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. There's also a case for putting wave 2 over here, but I'll just check that on the cash market for this. But in a way, this is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, or just starting from here is 1 and 2, and this would be all the third wave in building the strongest part of the move here. So we still need to get wave 3, 4 and 5 up here to finish off. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to take us a session. So we'll either have one more high or we'll have 2 more highs here. But either way, once we've finished, we're going to see it, because it'll be quite simple. It will just be this move up through here. There'll be a top there somewhere, and then we'll see a deeper correction. And it's this correction that's going to tell us what's going to be happening next, because we'll either go up there or drop back, or we're going to take that second high out and we'll continue to move up at that point. So this little trend here, I've got it as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. It fits okay, but like I said, I just need to check that on the cash market, because on the S&P, it seems like on the cash market for the S&P, it seems that this is the low here for that. So we may need to put this over here and look at this as 1 and 2 here as such, but we're breaking that down on the tick chart here. So I'll go to tick chart, let's get a bit more data in. Yeah, so in this case here, I've got it as wave 1. It makes a nice wave 1. It's pretty laborious wave 2 here, but an A wave, an A, B, and C for the B wave, and down for the C wave here. Like, it's quite close to this point. On the cash market for the S&P, it does make a new low. I'll check on this one. But either way, we'll either work from this trend. That's why we'll either get 2 tops at the top to come, or we'll be just getting 1. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here. And then I won't bore you to death, but that 1 and 2 here, then all the way up here for 3 and 4. So that's where we're going at the moment, but there'll still be, so we'll either have still a little bit small there. Let me just open this up a little bit. Still a bit small for this wave 4 here, I think. Anyway, I'll have to check on that. But this will play out. This here's still got further to go up here, of course. So that's going to play out at this level. So we're going to see something of this nature here. So this is either going to be the top here, or there's going to be one more top. I'm not quite sure about that. I'll check on that. But that strong move we're seeing here, that's going to tire out. There's going to be profit taking above here soon. Okay, so the S&P, it's the same thing again here with the S&P 500. You know, so I've got this wave 4 or this wave 4. I mean, if I go to the weekly chart here just for a moment. I mean, I don't want to harp on about this, but you know, I've always been cautious. This is the length of wave 1, and this is the length of wave 3 here. So we're still, this wave 3 is, if I put that there, we're still smaller than wave 1 here. You know, and I'm not seeing a large enough correction here, you know. So that's why I think that we haven't reached that. I mean, I always like to look at that being up here, because that just makes sense to me, you know. I know the levels and I know Elliott, so, you know, that's the sort of thing that would occur at that point. So I'm a bit reluctant to use that there as wave 3. So I think we'll be at the 1 degree smaller. So just going back to the daily chart here for a moment. That's why I've got this little wave 4 here. And I'm starting to notice that on some of the European indices as well. But anyway, I need to work on that. At this point, it doesn't matter if it's this one or this one. I mean, if it is this one, it hasn't also pulled back to, because the 38.2% retracement level is closer to the 4,100 area through here. So we do need to be careful that we don't have this X wave up here. And once again, it's the same thing as well, that we need to count 5 waves up here. Once those 5 waves are finished, then we need to see if we get an ABC pattern. And that way we'll go long, you know, based on, I mean, we can improve on this, of course, but on that point there, and that will tell us that we're bullish. And then we'll be looking up towards 5,000 at that point. We'll talk about those levels on the way shortly, but otherwise we'll be moving back down here for this wave 4. So there is that area of caution. I can't really even make a bet. I can't say to you that it's a 70% chance that we're going to be continuing to go up here. I can't do that. To me, it's kind of even at this point, and we just need to get past this point here. So that's as simple as I can get it. So from this low here to this high here, we need to work out the 5 waves in this move here. And even when we work them out, and even if we, you know, even if we get them wrong by another little high or one more high or something of that nature in this space here, it doesn't matter. At least, you know, we still have to wait for that pullback, because after 5 waves, there's going to be an ABC correction before going higher. So we'll need to work out if that is corrective, and then we can go higher from that point. Okay, otherwise, so basically this is the chill zone here. So any long trades you have here, you know, you can look to take some profit there, or look after them in such a way, yeah, because it can turn at that point. So let's just go in and have a look. So we talked about this point yesterday, I think, didn't we? So yeah, it's not going to give us much. But just, yeah, I'm looking, so in this case, it's kind of a nice low here. And so we're looking at this as wave 1 and 2. But I think on the cash market, it's showing this as the low. But so we need to be a little bit careful. But I can see that this is just starting to tire out now, not because of the end of the session, because of the structure, because we need to figure out, even from this point or that point, both of them, we need to figure out the 5 wave structure in this move here. So yeah, it's going to get a little bit sort of tight at that point. There's a couple of things here that I wanted to look at, but let's just see. I don't think the 50 and the 6 is at the 61.8% at the moment. That's what I must have been looking at. But yeah, so it's going to kind of struggle a little bit higher in through all of this. It's kind of, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and then there's the end of the trend. So yeah, we need to finish that off a little bit in there. Let's just go into the 1 hour chart. So in this case, so in this case, we've got it from that wave 4 low here as 1 and 2 here, and 1 ABC for 2 here, then 1 and 2, and building from that point. Now, we talked about going long in different ways yesterday and so on. So all I'm really interested in is this 1 and 2 here, and this 3, 4, 5. So that's going to take us a little bit higher there, isn't it? So let me just look at that there. We'll need to go to the tick chart. The midpoint, there's definitely going to be a little dance across here at the midpoint here. But I don't think that's the one that we're looking for. I think it's at this point here. This is, and this wave 3 that I've got here, that could also be a wave 1 as well. So we could go 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then further up. But it won't make any difference, okay? It's just we're still getting 5 waves in one way or another. So let's just assume for a moment that we're going to get this scenario here happening if we base this off this 1 and 2 here. Otherwise, from this low to this high here, if that's the case, then it could collapse from that point. If it collapses from that point, well, then we'll know anyway. But otherwise, we'll need to look at this moving up a little bit further. So let's just go to the 100 ticks. Oh, that was the other thing too, just on this trend line through the bottom here, taking it to the top here also comes in at the 61.8% mark there as well. So it's just a bit of a double whammy there. So it's kind of good to know, because you know the market's going to stall there. But in this case, we're kind of just looking for, we can see that it wants to move higher. I'm not sure how to count that. I don't know if that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here or some other sort of thing, but that sharp pullback kind of reminds me of wave 2. So we can view this here as 1 here and 2 here, and then wave 3 will be up here for that. Then there'll be wave 4 and wave 5 up there to finish that off there, because in the middle here we've got I've got 1 and 2 there, one of these 2 there, and this is the 3rd wave, and some sort of 4th wave here, and there'll be a 5th wave in there. So it's obviously dancing across this trend line, so that will be kind of useful. The level here it's really all about this level, about the 50, about the midpoint there. Yeah, I mean, of course, there's important levels here. So if we take 40, for example, here, 40 to 50, then there would be 1, 2, and 3. And then there will be 5, the 45 here. So that's important, midpoint between those. And then there's number 8, group 2 here. So we're dropping down to another level at that point. But it's good to know those numbers. It's good to know your numbers. Yeah. So this is probably, I'm not quite sure about this 3 and 4. It still looks a little bit small. But the takeaway here is that we're going to see Friday sort of edge higher, but we are looking for that top there somewhere for that. So that will take us up around the 145. So that will keep us busy for tomorrow anyway, in the next session. Okay, so we'll check it on when it starts correcting. It will help confirm the wave count as such, but we want that 4. And we want that 5, and then that's all about this one. It's all about this ABC pattern here. This is the one that's going to tell us if we're going to be bullish, confirm the bigger bullish picture, or the bearish picture at that point. I mean, obviously, this looks like a lot of volume come into all of this, so it looks good and looks bullish, and that's why I'm looking at it in a bullish light, but we just need to be careful, that's all. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.